In this video, I will show you how you can automatically send the email reminders to your customers before the invoice due date is arrived directly from the Google Sheets. So what will happen? I'm going to set an automation in Google Sheets and Gmail in such a way that whenever my automation will notice that the due date is arrived, it will automatically send the reminder for that due invoice to the customer whose details is present in Google Sheets. So if you also want to automate the process of sending the email reminders, then come with me and I will show you everything step by step. Alright, so this is the spreadsheet of all the invoices where the details of invoices along with the customer details and along with the amount due date and the due amount is mentioned. And to automate this email reminder process, I will have to build an integration in Google Sheets and Gmail application with the Pabbly Connect, which is an integration and automation software. And since I'm an existing user of Pabbly Connect, here you can notice I am already logged in. You can also create your free account in Pabbly Connect in just 2 minutes from the sign up free button. And in the free account, you will also get free tasks to test these kinds of amazing automation. Now, once you will reach to the dashboard, firstly, click on this blue button that is create workflow and provide any random name to your workflow, to your automation. Okay, so I have pasted the name as, basically I have provided the name as send email reminders before invoice due date. Okay, and I am going to now click on create, and then you will notice 2 boxes in front of you. Okay, so these are actually trigger and action, and here the trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So whenever this happens, then automatically do this. Understand with an example also. Let's say whenever a sale happen in a payment gateway application, then automatically send an email via Gmail application to your customers. Okay, so this is how you need to always select the applications in which you are building an automation. So according to our use case, we should select the Google Sheets here, because I want that whenever the invoice due date is arrived into the Google Sheets, automatically send the reminders, automatically send the reminders via Gmail application. Okay, so this is how I need to select these 2 applications. But in this particular case, instead of selecting the Google Sheets, I will select this schedule feature by Pabbly Connect. Now, why I am selecting this specific feature? Because I want to schedule this automation on the daily basis. Yes, my automation will execute on the daily basis and it will check the Google Sheets data on the daily basis. If it will notice that the due date is about to arrive, it will immediately send the reminders. Otherwise, the automation will stop there only. Okay, so that is why I have selected this specific feature. Now it is asking that how often you want to run your workflow. Okay, so I want to run this on every day, so I have selected the same. Asking for the timing, so I want to run this automation in the morning time. So how about I select 8 AM in the morning. Okay, I have selected 8 AM in the morning, clicking on save, and here you will notice that my automation is scheduled for every day for this specific time. Okay, so now every day what should be happen, what should be the next step? So firstly, it should fetch the data from the Google Sheets. Okay, so let me select the application that is Google Sheets, and in the action event I will go with this lookup spreadsheet row. Okay, so because here I would like to look up for those specific values whose invoice status is actually due. Okay, so that is why I have selected this action event. Now let me tell you how it is going to work, how it is actually going to look up for that value. For that, you will have to connect your spreadsheet with the Pabbly Connect. Okay, so select add a new connection and then click on this sign in with Google, and then you will have to provide the access of your Google Sheets account. Okay, I have provided this access multiple times, so instead of going with the new connection, I will go with the existing connection. But make sure if you are building this connection for the first time, you will always have to go with the new connection only, and after after that you can also go with the existing connection. Now here you can see my Google Sheets account is connected with the Pabbly Connect, and since I am connected, here you can notice whatever the spreadsheets I have created inside my Google Sheets account have started visible here. Okay, but currently I will select this all invoices spreadsheet. Okay, well, it is visible at the top only. Okay, so I have selected the same. Asking for the select sheet, so I have a single sheet only, that is sheet 1, which has got selected again automatically. And finally it is asking that in which specific column you would like to look up the value. Okay, so I want to fetch up the data of this due value. Okay, so that is why I will mention H as the column, H as the lookup column, and here it is asking for the lookup value. So basically if any row consists of this due value, I would like to fetch up those data. Okay, so that is why I will specify this specific value. Alright, and now I am going to directly click on this button, and you will notice that how the same response of Google Sheets will be received via Pabbly Connect. Okay, here you can notice the response is received. Let me show you the details one by one. So here we have the invoice number, that is invoice 003. Here we have the name of the person, the email address, the product name, the quantity, the amount, and we have all the details. And along with the row second data, we also have this row 3 data, because this row also consists of due status only. Okay, so let me show you the same. Alright, here you can notice this dummy customer, and the invoice number is 004, and the invoice amount, basically the amount due is 16,999. Okay, so here you can notice that into our spreadsheet, wherever it finds out the value as due, it has fetched the value, it has fetched the row data in Pabbly Connect. And now this is how I am going to send the reminders to these person, but I want to run this automation one by one. Okay, but currently I have the data of 2%. Assume that I have the data of 100% in this spreadsheet, and out of those 100% we have the due status of around 80%. Okay, in that case what will happen, the data of 80% will be fetched up via Pabbly Connect. Okay, so how I am going to execute the data of 80% one by one? Okay, let me show you. You just need to fetch this data into the advanced format by simply disabling this button, and then by simply clicking on this button once again, and this is how firstly this data will be converted into array. Yes, we have received the same data into the array format. If you will notice the square and curly braces combination, you can recognize that this is actually the array. And here if you will notice, you will find the same invoice number, the name of the person, the email address, and all other details. Okay, let me show you the other invoice details also, and here you can notice the same invoice number, the name of the person, the email address, and several other details. Okay, and now how I am going to execute the process this data one by one? Click on this plus icon firstly and search for the iterator. Okay, well, iterator is an amazing feature of Pabbly Connect via which you can execute your response into one by one format, into the sequential format. Basically we are going to map the array, and I have a single array only into the response, so that response has got selected from this drop down automatically. And as soon as I will click on this button, you will notice that I will receive the data one at a time. Yes, I have the data of this specific person only currently. Okay, once this data will be executed, the data of next person will be executed automatically one by one. Okay, so this particular step is done. Now what is next? Firstly, I'm going to check what is the invoiced due date. Okay, so currently we have the invoice due date as this, and what is the current date? So basically I'm going to find out the difference in between this specific date and in the current date. If that difference is actually matches with 3, okay, if the difference in the current date and the invoice due date is equal to 3, in that case I am going to send the reminders to the customer. Now how I am going to build this condition within this automation? Okay, so we already have the due date. Now we will have to fetch the current date, which you can easily fetch up with the help of date and time formatter feature. Again, it is an amazing feature of Pabbly Pabbly Connect, via which you can perform various kind of operations within your date. Okay, currently we will go with this current date action event. Simply click on connect and it will be connected immediately. Now you just need to specify the format and whether you would like to include the time in the response or not. Okay, so I will go with the false only because I do not want to include any time into the response, and it is asking for the basic format. So here I would like to give you a small tip. Make sure that you select the same format which is mentioned into your spreadsheet. Okay, in my spreadsheet I have the date format as YYYYMMDD. Okay, so I will go with the same, that is YYYYMMDD among all the formats, among all the given formats. That will be easier for me to compare both the dates. Okay, clicking on this button save and send test request, and you will notice that I will receive the date of today's date, the current date. Okay, so today is 8th of June and we have the due date as 12th of June. Okay, so there is the difference of 6 days. Okay, don't worry about that. Moving further, you will have to assume that it is the difference of 3 days only. Then what should be the next step? So firstly we are going to calculate the difference. Okay, currently we have calculated by ourselves, but we will have to do the calculation, do the same calculation within the automation. Okay, so how I am going to do that? Again I will search for the date and time formatter feature, and this time we will go with this date duration calculator. Okay, simply click on connect, it will be connected immediately, and now we just need to specify both the date in this date 1 and do it 2, and simply select the date format as well. Okay, so according to our date format I will go with this YYYYMMDD, and in date 1 how about I select the date which I have received from my Google Sheets data, and remember I have iterated this data from my iterator step. Okay, so that is why instead of mapping this data from this Google Sheet step, I am going to map this data from the iterator step. Alright, so this is the due date which I have mapped successfully. Now you must be thinking, what is this mapping which I am repeating again and again in front of you? Okay, so whatever the details we are mapping here from the above step response, these details will be replaced automatically when this automation will work in real time or in next time. Okay, yes, it will happen whenever this automation will work in next time. These dates will be replaced automatically with the new data. Okay, clicking on this button and you will notice that it will automatically give you the difference in these dates, and here you can notice we have the difference of 4 days. Okay, I will have to check whether it is correct or not, and yes, it is true. Currently it is 8th of June and the due date is of 12th, that is 9, 10, 11, 12. There is a difference of 4 days. Okay, so you will have to assume that if this difference has came out as 3, then what should be the next step? So basically it should directly send the reminders. Okay, so I will click on this plus icon and firstly I will select this filter. Now why I am selecting this filter? Well, here I am going to specify the same condition that if the difference is equal to 3, then in that case the reminder should be sent. In that case you can say this automation can be proceed further, otherwise this automation should stop here only. Okay, so in this particular case firstly I will select the difference which I have received from the most recent step data. Okay, so here we have the difference. Okay, if this difference is equals to 3 days, clicking on this button you will notice that the condition is going to be false. Okay, why this condition is false? Because currently we have received the date difference, the days difference as 4, but we have specified the condition as 3. If the difference is of 3, then only this automation should proceed. Okay, so what will happen in this case? In our case this automation will stop here only, and the next step, which is sending the email reminders to the customer, is not going to execute. Okay, so let me set up the same condition, the same action step, that is Gmail. I'm selecting the Gmail application and here I will set up the condition of sending the emails. Basically I'm setting up the action step of sending the emails, of sending the reminders. Okay, so just like we have connected our spreadsheet with Pabbly Connect, now we will be connecting our Gmail account with the Pabbly Connect. Again, you will have to go with the new connections only, but I have provided this connection multiple times, so that is why I will go with the existing connection. Clicking on save, and my Gmail account will be immediately connected with the Pabbly Connect. Now I just need to specify the email details, and this is how the reminders will get sent. Okay, so let me first map the recipient email address. Okay, I am assuming that this difference is actually of 3 days only. Okay, in that case the reminders will get sent for sure. So that is why I am setting up this step, that is sending of email reminders. Okay, so how about I search for the email address with the help of @. Alright, so this is the recipient email address. Asking for the CC and BCC email, well, I am going to leave these two fields blank. Basically I am going to provide the details only into the important fields. Okay, so how about I fill the data into the sender name, that is Pabbly. Asking for the email subject line, so I will write something like this is a reminder of invoice due. Okay, of invoice due. I hope this subject line is looking good. Okay, asking for the email content type, which will be plain only. And finally it is asking for the email content, basically what content you would like to send to your people. Well, I have already prepared a small email. How about I directly copy it from my notepad. Okay, well, I have copied the same, coming back and let me paste the same, and let me first correct the formatting of this email. Okay, so dear, and after this dear I want that the name of the customer should appear. Okay, so let me search for the name of the person, that is demo user. Dear demo user, and again as I have told you, whatever the details I am going to map here, these details will be replaced automatically when this automation will work in real time. Okay, so this is the reminder that your invoice is due for the amount of, and here automatically the due amount will be added. For that I will have to map the due amount. Okay, let me search for the same. Alright, so this is the amount due which I have mapped successfully, and the due date is, and finally lastly I will map the due date here. Okay, so let me search for the same. Okay, so I think I have mapped all the important data, and this is how this email is going to compose automatically every time with every new data. Okay, so let me read this email once again. Dear demo user, this is a reminder that your invoice is due for the amount of 15,000 and due date is this. Kindly pay the amount at the earliest. Thanks Pabbly team. Okay, now I am going to directly clicking on this button, save and send test request, and you will notice that the response is received, and here you can see this response is saying that the reminder has been sent. Coming back to my Gmail account, let me wait for the email to be arrived. Okay, let me refresh my Gmail account. Okay, alright, so here you can notice that the new email is arrived. If I will open that email in front of you, you will notice that it is the same subject line, that is, this is the reminder of invoice due. Dear demo user, this is a reminder that your invoice is due for the amount of this. Okay, here you can notice how the amount has been placed automatically, the date is also placed automatically. Kindly pay the amount at the earliest. Thanks Pabbly team. So this is how now onwards my automation is going to check the invoice status. If it will find out that the invoice status is due, and if it will find out that the difference is actually of 3 days only, basically this invoice is about to due after 3 days only, then this automation will work, and this is how the email reminders will be sent automatically to the customer directly from the Google Sheets only. You do not have to do anything manually. Simply set this automation inside Pabbly Connect just once. After that, you can sit back and relax because Pabbly Connect will take care of all the tasks in the backend. You do not have to do anything manually, okay? And just in case if you want to access this automation, access this workflow inside your Pabbly Connect account, I will also attach this link into my description box. You just need to click on this link and sign up into the Pabbly Connect, and then you will be able to access this workflow, this automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, that too for free. Okay, so let us check what exactly we have done. Firstly, we have applied the scheduler. With the help of this automation will execute every day. Okay, so every day, firstly, it is going to fetch up the data from the Google Sheet whose status has due. Okay, whose status has due. Okay, this is how it is going to fetch all the data into the array format, and firstly we are going to execute this data into the step-by-step manner with the help of iterator feature. And once we have received the data, now we will fetch up what is the current date, and then we will compare these two dates, basically the current date and the date of the due invoice. If the difference of both is actually found out 3, then it is going to send the reminder automatically, but we have specified the same condition via this filter. Okay, and now you must be thinking, despite of the condition was false, why it has sent this reminder? Basically, whenever you will set the automation at the first time, basically in the first time the email will surely get sent, but after that in real time, don't worry, nothing will happen. Whenever the condition is true, then only the further step will be executed, otherwise this automation will stop here only. Okay, so this is how this automation is going to take place. Not just these applications, you can integrate multiple applications and automate your business with Pabbly Connect. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. My team will surely answer to your questions. This is the website of Pabbly Connect, and for the latest updates of Pabbly Connect and unique automation ideas, you can join our Facebook group, that is formget.deals. If you have found this video helpful in any way, share it with your friends and colleagues and also help them to automate their business. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.